Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. I'm George Machado,
I'm Justin Rios.
and this is PPG Battle Series. So, today I will be playing my boy, Zamasu, the fused Zamasu, backside Absolute God Zamasu. Now, there was a little bit of hype around this leader as soon as Fu came out, the Shrouded and Mystery Fu over Realm 10. It's a really cool combo. You can hit your opponent for 6 damage, so it's something really interesting, something really cool, and it's a niche leader. I've always wanted to make this cool, competitive, ever since the beginning. So I figured I'd make my debut on the Battle Series, playing something pretty cool and unique. What'd you choose for today?
I decided to choose SS3 Goku, but it's going to be a different take on it. I'm going to be trying a mono red deck. So it's just playing the 8 blue cards, the 4 super combos, and the 4 combo Gohans. And so we're going to determine who goes first.
2, not very strong. Boom, 3.
And 3.
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, so I won the die roll. Obviously, you have to go first in this game. So we're going to be choosing what to keep here. We got some late game combo pieces. Obviously, we want to see these later on in the game. But right now, it does not do anything for us. We want to keep as many 1-drops as possible, and sometimes 2-drops. Here, we're just going to keep a 1-drop here. This 2-drop is not something that we want to really... I mean, we have better 2-drops. This is for later in the game, so we can like ship back the rest and just try to hit. We play a lot of 1-drops, so we just want to maximize the number of 1-drops that we hit in order to maximize our turn 1 play, cycle through our deck, and just get those powerful cards and combos together.
Alright, and over here, not the best opening 6, but thankfully we get to selective mulligan. So we're going to keep this. We don't really want these cards early in the game. We'd rather just draw into it. It's a 4 of. Same as this. We don't have any guarantee way of self-awakening. And then these are also just late game cards. So we're just going to mulligan these 5.
Alright, so I'm going to choose to go first after mulligans. We're going to see here. We're going to charge our big drop, our Zamasu, the Alert God. And we'll actually cast Bulma.
Yep.
Bulma's gonna go ahead and search. We only play one Whis target in this deck, so we're gonna get the one that best suits the deck. We play Whis, the Resting Attendant. This one lets us accelerate on energy, which is really needed in order to get to our combo play as fast as possible. Other one doesn't really provide too much. Probably played in the sideboard against more aggressive decks, but with that, we can actually use Zamasu's effect, which is once per turn, I can choose 1 card in my life and place it in the drop area. And if the card placed in the drop area with the skill is blue, I can draw a card. So normally you want to get this leader down to 2 life as soon as possible. And this actually lets you cycle through your deck. He's not playing a leader that's very aggressive, so we're just going to go ahead and try to self-awaken ourselves. And that hits a blue card, of course, the Universe 10. Supreme Kaigawasu. We are playing mono blue, so usually that's going to hit 99% of the time unless we hit a black card. But that's pretty much it. Can't attack first turn, so I'll just pass it.
So I'll draw for my turn. Alright, so I'm just going to discard this due to how we have 2, and these get worse in the early game. So I'm going to activate my leader's ability and discard. Charge 2.
Ooh.
It's a little unfortunate, but there's only 8 blue cards, so the chances of that are there, it's just they're not as high. So
That's the only thing I don't like about that leader. It could always hit you.
right.
Super combos are like black cards. It's just...
So I'm gonna start off by playing this. This will help me search for other chargeable energy or just plays later on in the game. So I'm gonna look at the top 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna add this. In this deck, this creature is essentially a 2 mana critical, or it's just a 0/5k, or it could also just be energy. So
Yeah, that card's just very well rounded.
right. After that, I'm gonna pass.
Okay. We're gonna take our draw here. And for the charge, I'm not sure what he's playing. So far, we know that he might be playing the GT engine, most likely. I mean, he's playing, obviously, the Kid Goku GTs. So, we're going to go ahead and... we're actually going to charge a Whis here, because we do have another copy. And it's really easy to get, even if we didn't have another copy. Bulma's a very easy way of getting it. Also, our Supreme 10 Kawasu, so that's not going to be too bad. We can accelerate here at the cost of losing some advantage, but we can actually cast the objection, but we're actually going to do fuse Zamasu first because we want to see as many cards as possible. So we're going to fuse Zamasu away at Bulma to draw a card. It's going to allow us to see an extra card just in case we want to objection something else out, and it doesn't change our play here, but it is important to note that it can. We're going to charge a Piccolo, because if he does play an EX Evolve, the Piccolo actually won't be able to kill it, because the Piccolo only says, according to your energy, the creature that your opponent plays has to be that energy or lower. So this card is significantly worse than the other removal spell that we have in our hand. So with that being said, he's at 6 life because of Son Goku. We're gonna put him on, like, there's no other way for his deck to really awaken. So I'm just gonna pass. I mean, he has like Saiyan Kabas and, you know, increasing evil mass Saiyans, but he has to draw 2. So
Draw for my turn.
as opposed to if I hit him once, then he goes down to 5, and then all he needs is 1 Kaba or like 1 increasing evil mass Saiyan.
Sure.
So we're also a late game deck too, so we're just gonna chill.
So I'm debating on whether I want to charge one of these two. I'm not sure if I necessarily want to be attacking with the Goku. I don't think his deck attacks very well earlier. Seems like more of a late game-ish deck. So I think I'm just going to charge this. And I'm going to go ahead and play the Goku I got off the pint size. So I'm going to go to attacks. Attack your leader.
Alright, we're gonna just take it here because we would have to commit 2 cards, so it's not cool. Well, that's a pretty good hit. It's my energy boost and Majin Buu.
Your turn.
Alright, draw here. Nothing too crazy. See, this is where it's really hurting us to not have multiple turn 1 plays. But we're still going to be able to cast our Whis, which is what we want to do at this point. Turn 3. Just thinking about what to charge here. Yeah, we'll just charge the Whis Coercion. We really don't have any need for negates right now. And yeah, we can't flip F4 like normal leaders, or else you would just activate the ability and then just flip and draw 2. So we're just gonna leave it there because he does have a threat on board. And we're gonna play the Whis. Whis is gonna look at top and add it to energy. There's another Bulma. That's all 3 of our Bulmas there. But we resolved the Whis, so should be okay. See, I'm thinking about just attacking the Goku, but he does have another Goku on board to protect it, so we're just gonna pass a turn here. And we really want to get that Goku off the board because it has critical, but because he has another Goku, normally I'd just attack it and trade up. But he has a 5k on board already that he already utilized, so it's essentially just a free block, so it's not the most ideal scenario for us, so we're just going to play it on the defense here.
Right now, just thinking of what I want to charge. Thinking of just charging this, I want to keep my mana a bit cleaner instead of charging these. And these could effectively become negates once awakened. Instead of just trading a hard counter, it'll be a free 10k if my leader awakens. So with that in mind, I'm going to charge this. I'm going to start the turns. Due to how his leader doesn't awaken at 4, I can afford to put him to 4 instead of 3. The only difference would be he'd be able to use his super combos if I attack with my creature and then play a double strike creature, but he can't awaken regardless. So with that in mind, I'm just going to start by attacking with the Goku.
No negates.
15.
Yeah, we're just gonna take it here. West Supreme Kai.
Tap one, play a Kaba. This will help me self-awaken my leader. So,
Okay.
attack your leader. Auto.
Yep, nothing.
15 double strike.
Okay, so he still has 3 energy up and 5 cards in hand. This strike would take me down to 2, which I would be able to awaken on the next swing. So, but he does have a swing with his leader. But we aren't tapped out. That's a good part. So we could prevent ourselves from dying by flipping also, but we really just want to flip at 1. So I think I'm just going to take the 2 cards here, especially because it's not even critical. It's going to get us closer to death, but we still have a lot of cards in deck, so our Zamasu just gets stronger at this point.
So there's 2 things I can do for the rest of my turn. I can either attack with my leader or my pint size and do this to try and draw a Sand Kaba to awaken, or I could just pass due to how he's going to have 6 energy. He's going to be able to go off if he has any roses. So with that in mind, I'm just going to pass.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here. We're gonna draw for turn. We're gonna charge an objection. That's a pretty easy charge. And let's see, how many cards in hand?
5.
Alright, so our opponent has 5 cards in hand. And we can use Fuse Zamasu's effect here to go down to 1 and then flip to gain some extra advantage, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We really don't want to risk passing our turn at 2 or like flipping at 2, because essentially when this flips you're losing every single card in your life, you're never seeing it. So we're just gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to use Fuse Zamasu to draw an extra card. And then we're gonna flip our Zamasu here. Also gonna activate our ability and make our Goku Black very powerful, being able to essentially cast itself for 0 resources, just the top 10 cards in my deck. Okay, so he does have still 3 energy, so we have to like consider that he might have Topo or another Vados Assistance. I mean, we've seen 2 Vados Assistants, but the chances of him having another one are probably pretty high. Definitely a Topo. I mean, we only see 1 in energy also, so we're just gonna go for it. This is really our play, so we're gonna try to resolve it here before anything, just because if we do land a Fu, then he can't activate anything, so we don't even want to risk, you know, attacking right now before doing this play. So we're gonna use Joyful Strike Goku Black Rose.
Yep.
And that requires 6 energy, so you do need to have 6 energy to cast this. As soon as it comes into play, if my leader card is Zamasu or Goku Black, I can inflict 2 damage to my life, and if I do so, I can choose 6 of my energy, switch them to active mode. So because of Zamasu's ability, instead of taking life, I can actually mill the top cards of my deck, 5 for each 1 damage. So essentially milling 10 cards here for the Goku Black Rose. There's normally no responses to this unless your opponent's playing, you know, Cold Bloodless.
Or even
Still.
Crusher Ball, but wouldn't be exactly
Yeah.
the best.
Okay, so 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right,
Okay, so that's a super combo.
So there's a
And
super combo
2
gone,
Goku Blacks.
2
And 2
roses, and
Foos.
2 foos. So that's probably not exactly the best, but it's still likely that he could have the 4th rose,
Pretty
or
crazy.
if he's playing 4 of the foos, could still have one in his hand. So you're gonna untap 6 energy?
Yes, we're gonna untap 6 energy here.
Yeah, so he does have the 4th.
Yeah.
So he's gonna mill another 10 cards. He also has to remember that if he doesn't kill me this turn, any damage that's inflicted to him will essentially kill him.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I think we only have enough for like maybe 1 life or
6
2
cards,
life.
so he can't even take 1
Essentially
point of
have
damage.
1 more life, yeah. Yeah, because I would take, I would draw a card, yeah, exactly.
So you can't even take 1.
So here's a 10 here. We're
Yep.
gonna show these. Another super combo. Wow, that's unfortunate. Another super combo. So that's 2, 3.
That's 3 super combos.
That's 3 super combos.
So with 6 cards and 1 card in his prize, you have how many cards?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7
So
cards.
it's a 50% chance that there's 1 in his hand or in his prize in his deck. There's 7 cards in his hand, 6 in his 7 cards in his hand, 6 in his deck, and 1 in his prize. So.
We're gonna play the foo here.
Yep.
10. I think that's 10.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're to the side. Alright, so we do have 7 damage on board right now. And he can still combo here. The only thing he can combo with is anything that has a regular combo on the side. So his super combos are shut off. They're just 0 plus 0 plus zeros, essentially, because of Fu's ability. He cannot negate, so he can't topo or Vados assistance. Now the only part here, the only struggle we have to think about is actually just getting our opponent down to 5 life. I mean to 4 life. Once he's at 4 life, 2 of these strikes become critical or lethal. So we want to try to get in there with the Zamafu first. And the Zamafu we're going to have to bump a little bit to make him take it, because here he already has enough combo to block it. So I'm just going to attack, and you can't negate.
Right,
so I'm just going to draw a card off my auto. And this is why we play Fu first, because I could have attacked with Zamafu first, try to dig for that super combo. But the negative side is, like, you could have easily just negated this attack, and then, like, I could have just prevented it by playing the Fu. So this is a deck that you kind of have to play out the whole combo first, and then just go. Like,
right.
You have to lay it down on the table and be like, you got it? You got it? No. But, okay, so I'm just going to attack with 15, and I'll go to my combo phase. And this is where we're going to have to drop our 4th super combo, which thankfully we had because we milled 3. It would have just been super unfortunate if we just didn't have any. So that's 25 already. And the number of cards in hand is what, 5?
5, yeah.
So I like doing math with, like, assuming, I mean, when I do my math, I take into account super combos, but here, because super combos are shut off, we can just safely assume there's about 5k combo in each card in his hand. That's 25, 30. So he would have to sacrifice everything, and this is still lethal. This is still 6 damage, so we don't really have to ditch all cards in his hand. So that's 25, 30, 30, and you're still unawakened. So you're unawakened, me swinging with 25, I think that's more than enough here for you to take it. So I'm just going to stop at 25, and that's going to be it for my combo. I think that's something that he'd definitely take, because if not, he has to throw like 30k of combo. Which is most likely not going to happen.
Alright, so with all super combos gone, it kind of makes his combo step a little worse. The question is if I want to preserve my life total here, because if I take that, then any 2 double strike creatures, and I'm just dead. If 2 double strike creatures hit, I'm dead. Whereas in comparison, if I block here, then a double strike creature would hit me. Another double strike creature hit me, I would see 4 cards in comparison to 3. But I'm dumping more resources to prevent that. And if I take this hit, I would be seeing 2 for my awaken and 3 here. or I could T2 for my Awaken in here, which would be giving me any more 5k combos or not 10k combos. Super combos are dead, so
Actually, now that I think about it, I probably should have attacked with the Whis first, because it would have been connecting for much weaker.
yeah.
Yeah. So if I were to redo this combo phase, I would definitely attack with the Whis first, and probably like throw a Piccolo and a Bulma to just take advantage of him being unawakened, because
Right.
it's just much weaker. And that's why I didn't attack with one of these, because it's just so much weaker. This combo phase is infinitely harder.
Right, and with that in mind, because he still can attack with this and throw this, where it would force me to have another 10k, I think it's correct to just take the damage here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna take the hit.
Okay. Alright, so much easier now that he's at 4 life, but the only problem is here, he can still draw 2 cards off his Awaken, and he's gonna take 2 cards inevitably,
Yes.
okay, from the double strike here. So it's just not looking good. He's gonna get a lot of cards in hand, so his combo phase is just gonna be much easier, and we're tapped out. It's obviously do or die time for us here. It's just a matter of sequence of attacks, and this is where we're regretting not attacking with the Whis, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. We're gonna attack with our first double striker here, 25 to leader.
Alright, so since I can't negate, I'm gonna pass on negates.
He can be safe here. Let's see, if he goes to 15, he has to throw at least 3 5Ks, which is not out of the realm of possibility, especially because he has 1 in hand, 1 on field already. We want to make him throw a little bit more. We're going to combo with our Bulma on board. And it's really unfortunate that we're tapped out.
Yeah, so you can always, to confirm like what cards could be left in his hand, you could get a general idea of what his deck's trying to do just by looking around at his energy, the cards in play, and the cards that are overwhelmed from the food. What could left be in his hand? He has no more super combos. He only has access to 5k since he's tapped out. There's 2 objections, 3 objections. There's one Sensu bean, so it's possible he has 3 beans in his hand. It's possible he has a bunch of 10Ks in his hand as well, since there's just not many in his yard. So
we're just gonna go with 30 here because I think that's enough combo. We still have lethal here, so if he does block here, we still have lethal. We don't have to overcommit too much, so I'm just gonna go with 30.
alright, so I'm gonna awaken my leader. Draw 2 cards. If we take this hit, this enables him to be able to dump on any other creature he attacks with, since we can no longer negate due to Fu's effect. So we're kind of forced to combo here. His hand's probably heavy on 10k, since knowing that I can't negate and any one of these creatures can connect, that he should have maybe dumped a little bit more, so that tells me that he's light on 5ks. So I'm actually going to try and combo here. He's currently 30, so I need 35, so 2 10ks or any combination of 10ks and 5ks. Would this work? Yeah, right?
No, it has no ability. You won't.
It's
You
just a
still
1
won't
mana
draw.
10k.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still 1 mana 10k.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna have to do it. So 1 mana 10k. Here.
Okay. That's 20k. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the 10k is here.
This doesn't come into play, so.
So that's 35 to mine 30. Okay. So still has what? 5 cards in hand. 6 cards in hand, and he has the 5k on board. So that 5k on board is going to give us a little bit more information, or at least give us a little bit more insight as to what the next combo phase is going to look like. So it's good that we made him pitch 2 cards in hand, which is one of the reasons why I was hoping just pitching this 5 would make him throw 2 10ks and leave that 5k on board. This essentially gives us just one more read on the next combo phase. So we obviously don't want to attack with Whis here unless we're attacking the Kaba, because we're not going to win this turn. But we still need to feel out a win here, because there's no advantage of Fu's going to go away at the end of turn, and Goku can't produce any type of defense here. So unless it's attacking the Son Goku, but I don't think it's worth it. Also, something to note: next turn, he's also still not going to have any abilities of any of his cards. So we're going to go in with the Goku at his life.
Can't counter, so pass.
All right. So this is, if we don't combo here, all he needs to have is 2 5ks in his hand. And then
yeah,
throw
2 5ks in
and then
hand
throw
plus
the
5k
Goku.
onwards.
So he only has enough for 1 more 10k. So he has to throw a 10k and like another 5k if we throw a 5k here. Yeah, at this point we just want him to take this so we can kill him with the Fu. So we're just gonna do that. Just gonna combo our 2 5ks on hand and go up to 35 on the Goku. And that should be a combo that he shouldn't really be able to block efficiently.
Alright, so total's 35, so I need 40, which would go to 25. So if I can out combo this, I just can't lose the game.
This turn.
This turn, yeah. But it's more than likely you're not going to live to another turn due to how there's 4 cards left in your deck and 1 in your prize. So I can do 25, so I'm going to... So 25, 30, 35, 40.
Okay. So he has 40 to my 35. Super unfortunate. Now, here, because we can't go for game even with the Fu, it's probably just better just to board clear, because we can still live if we block the leader strike, and he doesn't have a strong follow-up. I mean, he only has 3 cards in hand, so that's not too out of the ordinary to ask for, but giving him 2 cards in this scenario is not going to help us live. So we're just going to use the Whis to take out the Kaba here.
Yep. Same with the Fu.
Combo. And then the Fu is going to take out the Son Goku on board.
Yep.
And the Fu's going to go away at the end of the turn.
Alright, so I'm going to untap and draw for my turn.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. In hindsight, should have probably gone in turn 7. I mean, sorry, energy number 7 to get these beans out of our hand.
Yeah.
But
so
we were already at like 2 life, so it's kind of something that we might have not had enough cards in deck to double Goku him the next turn. So that's something to consider.
So I'm not going to charge, because if I draw 10k, I can just use all 10ks on the combo of the Goku to make sure he takes the hit. Remember, this is still 0 + 0 due to Fu's effect, and I'd be missing out on a lot of combo if I just tap out on this. So I'm just going to not charge and go to my attack stat, attack your leader, the auto trigger, Draw card.
Negate.
I'm gonna combo as much as I can. So this is 25, 35, 45, 50.
Alright. And we were stuck.
Yeah.
Tapped out, unfortunately.
Right.
Not being able to bean.
Yeah, the 10Ks
Or
and the
beers.
beans. So.
Too many 10Ks.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, it was close. We almost had it, but he had just so much combo power. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, still something powerful that this deck can do. I mean, we were representing like 7 damage on board, so
Right.
it's something that can definitely get out of hand if your opponent's like in an awkward scenario. But
right, like if this deck isn't playing as many 10K combos due to how this ability untaps 3, so I want to take advantage of that with like Gates or Topo. Maybe against another leader, that just you can't out combo that because people are also going to be playing on curve with you. But in my sense, since I had a bunch of 10Ks and my leader naturally just wants to have them, that I had a bunch of combo power and didn't do anything for my turn. So
alright, so that game, unfortunately, we did get our combo out, but it was something that I felt like might have been a little bit too premature. We obviously had the combo, everything went pretty well. The only problem was we didn't have an extra energy to kind of just defend ourselves, or actually just extend a little bit further with the Sensu Beans plays.
Right.
So that was something that just, unfortunately, he was putting a lot of pressure. We were down to like 3 life already. So we kind of just got, or 2 life actually. We were down to 2 life, and then we decided to just pull the trigger there, where we probably, maybe, I mean, we were left with 4 cards in deck, so I don't think we could have survived that one turn, even if we did pass and then play the double Goku. I think we could have followed up maybe the next turn with 1 Goku and a Fu, which I don't know would have been enough. But otherwise, the deck seemed pretty well. I was pretty content to how it played off. It was just a very powerful Son Goku deck. So something that I haven't seen, mono red from what I saw. And we'll see how game 2 is. Hopefully now we'll be able to sculpt the strategy a little bit more, try to pace ourselves, try to defend our life, and see how that plays out leading into game 2.
Alright, so based on how that game went, I kind of saw the majority of his deck. He only had 4 cards left in his prize. So I can kind of understand what his deck's trying to do. He's trying to he wants to get to turn 6, maybe even 7, due to how he had a bunch of 1+ cards like Sensu Bean and the 10K combo. So with that said, I think I want to be aggressive, and when it gets to the turn where he has 6 energy, 7 energy, I want to potentially leave up as many 10Ks combo as possible. So with that in mind, we're going to jump into game 2.
Alright, so I lost, so I got the choice. I'm gonna go first.
Yep.
I think that's right in this deck. You normally just want to get that first energy up above your opponent.
Yep.
The extra card doesn't really matter too much. So hopefully we see a lot more 1-drops. I think that's what we were lacking the first game. So we're gonna keep a 1 and a 2 here, and we're gonna put everything else back.
And for me, looking at my opening hand, same as discussed earlier, I don't want to keep any high cards in my hand due to how I can only play them later on in the game. I want to look for Kabas, the 1-drop, Son Goku, things they do on turn 2, such as the Gohan. So I'm just going to keep these 2 cards.
Yeah, and this deck more important than almost any other.
Fine.
We probably should have played in different sleeves.
Yeah, 100%. So.
No, these are fantastic sleeves though. Shout out to Ultra Pro. They hooked us up with these really sweet sleeves. Unfortunately, they only sent us like a few of the other arts, which are these other 2 arts that you see on our playmats. So we didn't have as many of those, but we should be getting some from our distributor for those of you who are looking to purchase some on our Facebook store. They're really sweet sleeves. They shuffle really nicely.
Yeah, they do
honestly.
feel good. They feel good, look good.
I know you're used to playing with character sleeves at I know you use them usually for high competitions for Magic and stuff like that. How do you think these? How do you think these compare to like the ones that you normally use?
I mean, I definitely think the artwork is a lot more in depth. Like the sleeves actually don't feel bad either. Like they feel fine to shuffle in. I would actually look into using these for tournaments and stuff. So.
Yeah, they have a pretty unique shuffle. It's a new formula on there too, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna start off with charging an objection, and we're gonna play the Bulma first before the Zamasu effect, just because you get to thin your deck first. So
you don't
that's
want to
very important.
potentially draw a whiz.
Yeah, you draw the Whis and it's really bad. So we're gonna give a quick look at our deck. And we got a Whis there. So I don't know if it's gonna be right to use the Zamasu's effect here. We saw how aggressive his deck can be. He does play Kaba, he is gonna swing at us. So I don't think it's worth essentially making our life lower, because it actually makes his life lower, and making our deck smaller. So we want to keep as many cards in deck here so that we can resolve Goku as many times as possible. So we're actually going to pass on using Zamasu's effect this time.
Alright, so I'm going to draw for my turn. So I think I want to discard one of these. This card in this matchup is not necessarily good due to how Fu just turns it off. But if he doesn't have a Fu, it could be fine later on. But due to how we haven't just even started our turn, we don't want to have these. So I'm going to discard this to my leader's ability. Charge 2.
Wow, that's good.
Just 2 super combos.
I mean, yeah. not as bad as the other
Right. It's still red. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a Kaba. I'm gonna go to my attack step. Attack your leader. Auto.
Okay.
No combos.
So this is good here. We're definitely going to take the 2 life here. We definitely want to take multiple damage. It's fine. It's closer to us awakening. We have extra cards that have options for objections and stuff like that. So we're definitely good.
So I could attack with my leader due to how he didn't activate the effect of his Zamasu. But I don't benefit anything from attacking with my leader. I don't draw a card nor crit him. So I think I don't want to attack and I want to just pass.
Yeah. That's a good thing to consider. I always tell some of the players that we end up coaching here in store when they want to get better at the game, if you don't gain anything from attacking, it's usually not a good play to do. So we have multiple choices here for our turn 2, which is always good. But we're going to go with the one that gets us a little bit farther ahead. We want to get as far ahead as possible as soon as possible. But first, we're going to attack the Kaba because we need to get that off board. And if he has any type of resistance to that, then we're not like using all our energy onto a play and then like you end up defending it and we're like, oh snap, we really needed to destroy that.
Right.
So we're going to attack and see if you care about that Kaba.
So what's actually an interesting interaction is I'm going to negate. So what this red negate does, it doesn't untap any of my energy like the blue one does, but it untaps a creature. And an untapped creature against this deck can't really die. There's no Sun Goten, there's no attacking active creatures. So this should ensure that I can activate my Kaba again and self-awaken my leader. So I'm going to negate.
Alright, that's actually super, super powerful, because it doesn't actually put him on having to have another self-awaken card. He's just reusing the self-awaken card that he used last turn. Now, if we had a turn 2 play here, where we can actually have a Sun Goten, or I played Sun Goten, then actually it would be really good here that I didn't use my energy, so I could attack with the Bulma, use the Sun Goten, and kill the Kaba. But we don't play those cards, so there's not much we can interact with here. We could only play out our turn a little bit safer here, but there's not much we can do here. He's just going to self-awaken himself. We just got to accelerate our game state as fast as possible, so we're just going to go with playing objection. And objection is going to put down a Whis Coercion, and we're going to use that Whis Coercion to dig deeper into our deck here. We're going to play the Machado.
Sure.
And that will be all.
So I'm going to untap and draw for my turn. So I think I can afford to charge with one of these cards. These are going to be better in play due to how they're going to draw me cards. Instead of taking away his life, I want to get closer to more 10Ks that I can defend myself due to how my leader is going to awaken. I can also charge with this due to how this deck is mono red and this isn't going to have any effect. It'll only cost me if I draw a red negate. Otherwise, I can just use it for any 10K combo. So I am going to charge this. Instead of attacking with my leader, I'm going to attack with Kaba to awaken so I can draw an extra card. So I'm going to attack your leader, auto.
Yep.
Gonna see what I draw for my awaken.
So yeah, awakening here in combo steps super strong. You can see some extra cards, and there's really no downside to doing that.
Right. So I'm not gonna combo anything into this. I'm gonna just pass on 15.
15, okay. Now, that's gonna force 2 5Ks, or we can just take the 2 life here. Yeah, I think we can. 2 life is a lot, to be honest. That'll put us down to 4, and then the leader swing put us down to 3. And then we're kind of like in the same position as last game, which is just getting a little bit too fast. So, just gonna try something here, and we're gonna actually go up to 20K.
Sure. So next I'm gonna attack with my leader, because what I draw from my leader can affect my decision for my turn. So I'm going to attack your leader with mine, auto. Fine draw gives us something to do next turn. I'm gonna pass on 15.
We're gonna instantly take the life here.
Next, I'm gonna play a Gohan. Double red instead of triple red, so this isn't affecting us. I'm gonna attack your leader with the Gohan. The auto trigger, I could put him to 3, force him to use 2 5K so he can't super combo. Or I could just draw a card, but being that I drew some interaction if he was to do something, I could just double strike. So it really comes down to double striking, putting him to 3, or drawing a card, putting him to 4, and his super combos are live. So with that in mind, I think it's better to just give it double strike. So I'm going to give it double strike.
Okay. We're not going to dedicate any more resources here, so we'll take the 2 life. It's much better than us going to...
I'm going to pass my leader ability.
This is much better than just like taking both double strikes, even though it is unfortunate he had another outlet to double strike us. But it's not the worst thing in the world. We're gonna charge a Whis here, because we do have another Whis that we can play on 4 here. But like I said, we're gonna go and resolve our battle first and attack into that Kappa, try to get that off board.
So, since his deck doesn't necessarily attack fast and we want to pressure his life total as soon as possible to prevent multiple roses, it's possible we could actually defend this. We wouldn't necessarily be throwing much. So I'm going to combo with the Son Goku. This ability, I'll draw a card. Fine draw, but this should be able to interact with his next creature that he plays, putting another creature into play. And we're not playing this anytime soon, so I'll combo with this as well.
I think that's enough, actually.
Or no, it's 10, it's not 15.
Yeah.
Right,
so
right. So then, yeah, so then that should be fine.
Okay,
I apologize about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so 15.
Okay, now here we need to stick to the game plan and continue furthering our game state.
Yep.
We're gonna Whis.
So that's one possible less rose.
Alright. We still have the option here of trying to attack the Kaba, and we will. Actually, let me see. Because we can keep it for defense too. But like if we attack the Kaba here, it just directs his attacks towards the Whis again, so it's essentially like block, like some defense as well. Yeah, we're just gonna attack the Kaba here because it's just gonna throw cards from his hand. So
Right, so
if he does,
instead
then
of
that's
just
fine.
wasting resources, I'm also putting a creature into play. Due to my leader being 15, this costs 2 instead of 4.
Yeah, that
So
is a
I'm going to
worst
counter
case
attack
scenario.
with Topo.
Yeah, that is a worst case scenario for us because now that Topo can actually threaten our life.
And it does
as
gum up
well.
a free whiz too, so or it just eats combo out of.
Yeah, when you or your opponent's leader card has 15 more power, 1500 or more power, so he is awakened, so he will be able to. If it just said my leader, which I was hoping, then he would not be able to Topo here. But
Yeah.
alright, so that's really unfortunate for us. He has a lot of pressure on board. Now we can tap out and dig deeper into our deck, but it's not really worth it considering what we have in hand here. I think we can just safely pass.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna untap.
Good thing to consider here, if he double strikes us, we can go down to 1.
So I'll draw for my turn.
And that's exactly where we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
1 is a sweet spot. It's better than 2.
Right. So next turn, he could possibly go off with Rose, but I'm not necessarily sure of how many attacks I can get in. So what I charge will matter. I'm gonna have access to guaranteed 3 10Ks since my leader untaps. I'm going to decide to charge one of these. Since this is free or eats cards out of his hand, I'm going to attack Topo into his whiz.
Yeah, I have no negates.
Alright, just 20. So either eat 15 combo or just eat his whiz and untap Topo. So.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose scenario for me here. Topo really punishes my play. I can just get punished out the gate, or I can just continue getting punished by throwing more cards towards it. So I think I'm just going to take the L here on that play.
Yeah, it's
Not
probably
give away
better
more
for you
cards.
to just lose whiz than combo power. So.
Yeah.
There's no yellow in his deck, so I don't have to play around Nimbus. So, and again, what I draw off my leader can affect what I play. So instead of playing a creature and attacking, I can attack with my leader first. Or I could attack with my Gohan and try and double strike, but he has access to super combos. So I'm going to attack with my leader first. And the auto triggers.
Okay.
So I'll draw a card.
I have no negates.
Just 15.
Okay, so 15 here. We don't want to take this because then we go down to 2. We can get double striked to death. So we're just gonna super combo here.
Try and dig into the deck.
Go into 20. Dig into the dig and protect ourselves.
Right, from just such a free attack. Due to how as he did super combo, it's possible he has more super combos or even a 10k. Gohan's not going to change the double strike due to how it won't kill him since he has enough cards in his deck. I'm going to go ahead and attack with Topo. His deck doesn't have any Gohan's main board that I saw since we saw the majority of his deck game 1. So I'm just going to attack 20 and a 10.
Alright. So we can either take this and put ourselves at 2 with his lethal.
Well, not because you
I
can
mean,
awaken and
not super lethal, but I mean, we don't want to flip at 2. That's pretty much the case in point here. We're just trying to float at 1. Just maximizes our damage. Yeah, we really don't want to take that. Just gonna dig with the super combo here.
so it's gonna need 5 more combo. Yep.
It's 25. That saves us from that swing.
Next, I'm gonna attack with a Gohan. I don't necessarily want to attack with Kaba due to how it takes a life and it could be a 5k combo. So I want to see what I draw with Gohan before committing with Kaba. So I'll attack, auto.
Yep.
I'll draw a card. 15.
Throw a Universe 10 Supreme Kai. Oh, no, actually, we need 10.
Right, because it's 15 due to 10.
Yeah. He still has 4 energy here, which is really something that we need to look out for. So we're just gonna throw a bean and a Goku here.
You have how many cards?
Just bean. We have 4.
4 to mine 9. So next, I think I want to play a Gohan. This getting a 5k is essentially the same as this. It's just that there's a chance of whiffing even though there's still a high count. So what I draw off my Gohan could affect whether I do this or this. Am I gonna decide to play Gohan? Attach that.
Yep.
The auto will trigger.
Yep.
I'm going to choose to draw a card.
Alright.
And pass on combo.
I'll defend with a West Supreme Kai.
Alright, so he has 3 cards in hand. We have a Kaba that can still attack and potentially put him to 1. But if we don't, he goes to 4 cards, charges goes to 6 energy, 3 cards in hand. Activates the ability, should hit a blue card, go to 4. Awaken, go to 6. The 7, the attack will put him to 7. So it's just a matter of whether we want to give him those 2 cards, and I don't think we have to. We have a good amount of combo in our hand, so I'm just gonna pass. Untap 3.
So he still has a large amount of cards in hand and a large presence on board. Probably. Not sure if we can survive another turn. Something super risky here. But we can draw. If we summon Goku Black here, we can actually see 4 or 5 cards total if we attack with the Zamasu as well. And we would have to see a Fu.
Right, 2 from Awaken, 2 from the ability, and 1 for your attacks.
Yeah, so that would be put us in the same scenario as game 1 where we tap out and just need to kill you. And you have what, 8 cards in hand?
9.
9 cards in hand. So the chances of that happening are actually like super, super low. So as unfortunate as it is, we're probably just gonna play it safe here. Charge a negate and just dig a little bit more into the deck. Alright, not what we needed. We're just gonna pass here.
So this looks like a really good spot for us. He has 3 cards in hand?
3.
3. So I think what we want to do is we want to try and give these creatures double strike, put them to 2, and mill as many cards as possible. We don't want to give him the chance of being able to chain roses. So I'm going to draw for my turn. This seems like the easiest charge due to how I can't play it yet. So charge. Again, I don't have to play around Flying Nimbus. So because all these creatures have autos where depending on what I draw can change. If I draw a card or double strike, if I decide to attack instead of use it as a combo, I'm going to attack with my leader first. Auto.
Okay.
And that possibly could have been a good draw. No combos, 15.
Okay. Now we couldn't play exactly how we wanted to in this game, so we're gonna have to go into the plan of having 2 life. So unfortunately going to have to take this life and go down to a forced flip.
So next, since he did go to 2, I want to start eating the cards in his hand. Instead of netting more cards, I want to pressure his life total a bit more. I'm going to try and threaten double strikes with the Gohans and try and eat as much combo step, or as many combo cards out of his hand. So on his turn, we get a bit more breathing room. So I'm going to attack with a Gohan into the Zamasu.
No negates.
I'm going to give a double strike.
So we're gonna have to flip here to protect us from dying. And wow, we would have drawn the Fu. It's crazy. Okay. So he's still threatening 10 card mill. So we're just gonna block with our Boo here.
Yep.
I'll protect us.
Next, Topo's attacking regardless, or it could be a 5k combo, but due to how we have enough combo in our hand, we can afford to attack and force 5 cards off his deck. So we'll attack.
We are... That's fine.
Alright, just 20.
So we're just gonna mill the top 5.
Yep.
Nothing too crazy. Another rose.
We're gonna count how many cards.
That's 2 roses, I think.
6. So 20 cards. Means 4 more attacks. Possibly even 3 due to his draw steps and his leader drawing a card when it attacks. But so far, just 4. So again, we're gonna pressure his life total. Attack with a Gohan.
No negates.
I'm gonna elect to give it double strike.
Okay.
Yes, 20 cards. I'm gonna decide to not combo. So either eat a 5k or milk him 10.
I'm just gonna throw 5 here.
Because of him possibly having Fu and the Rose with an untapped mana, I want to take advantage of my leader's ability and keeping me available with as many 10Ks as possible. So my leader only untaps 3, so I maybe want to just use 3 mana for my turn. So I'm gonna play a third Gohan. I'm gonna attack your leader.
No negates.
Double strike.
Combos?
Nope.
Alright, we don't want to take any more life. We need 10 to resolve a Goku. Which will leave us with about 9 cards. So we can't resolve 2. Just gonna throw one Goku here so we have the third, the fourth.
So because of how I can afford, I have so much combo in my hand, and I really want to pressure his life total or his hand. I'm going to attack with the Kaba. Auto.
What was negates first?
Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm not going to want to take a card from my...
Yeah, he still has the ability here to actually activate the auto.
Right. Well, I could, since your next turn should be double strike dude into Fu, the Rose into Fu. So this would allow me to see another card. But I should be able to out combo whatever he has. He has 3 cards in his hand, so...
If you go down to 3, I could also just hit you with the leader.
Yeah. So I think it's fine to not just take a card from my life. So after that, I'm gonna pass, and then leader.
Okay.
On top 3.
Draw here. Oh, that's super unfortunate. Recharge the objection here. And it's pretty much do or die time here, where we need to push. Not sure if we can get in there, but we'll see.
Yep.
Go into the Black Rose.
Yep.
We're gonna mill 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it's 10. Tap our energy. Play Fu.
Yep.
Now, there's no purpose of putting him down to, like, there's no purpose in attacking his
Leader.
life. Because if we attack his life, then we're just giving him, a card, and then we still have to swing like 3 times. Essentially, we just want to like kill him in 2 attacks. It's the ideal scenario. If he doesn't have enough to combo out here, so we're actually gonna throw Zamafu at one of his battle cards in order to prevent him from getting any additional cards, and in order for us to get as many cards as possible so that we can try to win this combat. So we're just gonna attack a Gohan here.
Yep.
The auto's gonna draw us a card. Have no combos.
Right. So I can either just throw a 5k away. I don't have as many, or any really Piccolos or as many negates. So I could just afford to throw 5k due to how he shouldn't be able to combo as much. And the more Gohans, the better. just because of how it's a guaranteed double strike threat. So I'm just gonna combo 5.
Okay. I'm gonna try. See, I think we can. Oh, we had 9 cards left, I think. 8 now. So we actually technically have 1 life left. But even if we go over all his battle cards, still not going to be enough. So we just have to go for face here. Just 25 at your leader. Negates.
Can't negate.
It's unfortunate because he could just have 2 5Ks here. So we'll just go with 25. That's all we can do.
Alright, so if I combo this, I basically can't die this turn, so I will. 25.
Okay. We're just gonna go after a Gohan here, since that's arguably the most powerful threat on his board right now. No combos.
Not worth comboing.
Okay. Who's gonna go away at the end of turn?
The Gohans don't even get their effects, correct?
Pass. No.
Right.
Yeah, so
It's a really good
maybe
card.
the topo better there, yeah. If we even survive this turn, then.
No need to charge, since I'm basically just gonna start dumping on my double strike creatures. This is all the same due to how I'm not attacking his life. I'm attacking the cards in his deck. So I'll attack my leader.
Okay.
Draw a card. No combo.
All right. We essentially only have 1 life left. Well, like 1.5, I guess. 2 hits kill us.
So just 1 then.
Yeah. So we'll just take this 2, 3, 4, 5. Here goes another one of our super combos.
Attack your leader.
It's 3 more super combos. Attack leader, no negates.
Auto, I'll just draw a card since 1 attack.
Well, no, you can't. Food.
Oh, okay. So just 15 then.
Okay.
Just dump, I guess. So
Yeah, absolutely.
10k, 10k. Everything else is a 5k.
That's lethal, so.
Yeah.
You got me. Games. Alright, guys. So, unfortunately, the Zamafu dream did not live today. It was a really fun deck to play. I played it in locals a few times. I was able to get a few wins. I learned a little bit more about the deck. It's actually really cool and really interesting. There's a few ways that you can take it. I'm sure you could probably play some other overrealm creatures. I was playing only 1 in Fu Shrouded in Mystery. You could also maybe play like Scientist Fus, maybe some Mass Saiyans. It would obviously help in the sideboard against decks that are very aggressive and you need to deal with their boards, as you can see there. That's obviously something that's not the strong point of this deck, but it is really interesting. It is a very powerful deck, especially because Mecha Frieza and Cold Bloodlust aren't as prevalent around as they used to be. So it kind of allows for a little bit more innovation, more decks like this to succeed in the meta. But Son Goku, an inherent objection, very good. Of course, decks that have like access to objection like that are just straight off the gate is just so powerful. So. And the Self-Awakening too, just getting the 2 Self-Awaken. So still a very powerful deck. I think these are 2 like major contender decks, and we've seen a lot of people with success with Zamafu as well. Just really depends on the matchup sometime, but obviously played very well by Justin Rios. How did you feel about this deck? Because I know this was just some type of theory that you just put together, and if it worked well in theory, it looks like, you know, even on paper it worked out pretty well. So how do you feel about the deck?
I feel like the deck actually ran really smooth because of this a great leader ability where all my 3 drops are essentially 2 drops. My 1 drop, I can leave another 1 drop, like how I comboed and negated, which with this leader is actually quite good since I put myself to 6. The Cabo Awaken put myself to 5, the negate untaps, and then the Cabo will put myself to 4. So I'm awakening on turn 2, which is basically like Mecha leader.
It's really good.
Errata, so being able to just play cards on my turn, net incremental advantage with creatures that like the Gohans that draw a card or Jiren that attack battle cards, and then being able to just combo on his turn, like playing the combo Gohan or Topos or even just regular negates, seemed really, really strong. Just being able to sometimes just play more cards than your opponent just wins you a game. So deck felt really really smooth. So
Cool. Well, we're gonna obviously be making a lot more adjustments.
yeah,
Probably gonna be playing something different the next battle series, obviously. So if you guys want to see something on battle series, definitely leave a comment down below. Let us know what you'd like to see next. We're gonna have Peter and Ale most likely come back, or maybe just Peter and someone else playing Hercule and the new draft leader, Goku, the new son Goku.
okay,
So we'll see those two next. But if you guys want to see us back on the battle series, make sure you leave a comment down below if you like this battle series. Other than that, we'll be posting our deck techs on DBS Decks. Check them out if you haven't already. We'll also be doing some deck profiles and putting those on the channel so we can kind of explain our choices and our reasonings
sure,
behind these decks. I had a little bit more testing with this deck than Justin had, but his success obviously showed a
sure.
lot
Right,
more
right.
than mine. So, still very powerful decks. Really cool decks to enjoy now that we're not really restricted with Mega Freeze. I know you're really excited about that.
Yeah,
So, we still have a bunch of more decks to brew up. If you want to give us some suggestions and some ideas, feel free to. We're always looking to explore some new ideas. So,
yep.
thank you guys again. Until next time, stay pro.